Hello, everyone. Oh, jeez. This morning I watched Star Wars Season 3, Episode 4. Technically 4. My numbers on these episodes are a bit jaded. I admit it. I'm sorry. So, the first episode was Episode 1 and 2. Second video of this would have been Episode 3. This would have been Episode 4. So, yeah. And essentially in this video, in this video, they're like, okay, we gotta, like, I like how it starts with the note of they have the new recruits and with the new fighter pilots that they have, and what happens to them in the beginning of the episode? They get killed. And it's like they were completely outnumbered and they were slaughtered easily. And so it seems like, you know, they lost a lot. It's like they fought to get those people, and they fought to get those fighter pilots, and to get people who have the bravery to do so. And it's like, but when you have those moments, you lose it all. So I think that was a really important step for the episode to take, and it's how it starts out on that note. So they're like, okay, one of the leaders, these guys know someone named Antilles, which, if you know from the original trilogy, is a friend of Luke's, which is a friend of Luke Skywalker's, which I liked. I'm like, oh cool, Antilles is here in this video, in this episode. In my opinion, I really like that, and how they kind of get him out of the Empire recruiting station. And I liked how it wasn't all like young kids. It's like they were young adults. It was like you could tell these people were like my age, like in their late teens, like 18, 19, or like early 20s, like how I am. Like I'm 22 right now. And I really like that. Oh, so good coffee. And I really liked how it's like to get Sabine into this, who is the character I've always loved. I love her look. She's so cute, in my opinion. They get Sabine sent in there because it's like, of all of them, she's one that they get at least most identify. I wouldn't say most identify, but it's like they can make her look like a soldier. And it looks like they wouldn't look like a typical type of rebellion type of person. And through that, it's like, you know, okay, they send her in and they kind of get wedged until it's out, but it's like, hey, no, there's more than just me. I have a few of other friends who also want to join you as well. And they're, okay, alright, there's a sense of trust there, and there's a sense of, they're like, they don't trust Sabine enough. Is like, you know, is she clear enough? Or is like, and at one point, is like during the game simulation of them despairing the enemy, it's like they attempt to escape, but their paws are dispatched, and it's like, okay, they bring them back. It's like, oh, okay, my boy. You know, like how disobedient, how the Empire really did look upon them in that type of perspective. And I thought that was really interesting in my opinion. And how, like, there's something really shocking in this episode. It's like, oh, okay, we have a way of extracting information out of you, and it's like, holy shit, they're literally implying of torture on these young kids. Okay, young. I wouldn't say you're young. Again, my age, early 20s, but still, they're young. Okay, and it's like, oh Jesus, that's really scary and unfortunate. If they do get tortured like so, and it's like, and, you know, they essentially do get saved. Agent Callus, I think his name. Wait, let's see. Yeah. Is it Callus? Yeah. Yeah, it is Agent Callus, and it's like at some point, they do tend to escape, and they see the Callus, and Callus is just like, they block him off. It's just like, it's a secret level you can escape on. They're the pods. tell Wedge thank you. Well, it wasn't really Wedge, but it was Zeb. He says, tell Zeb we're even, because it recruits back to a season 2 episode when both him and Zeb were trapped in an area and they had to compromise with each other. They were much at odds, and that was a great hint at the past. I'm like, okay, that was cool. And it feels like it feels very much like they're working so very hard to just find new recruits and find new people to inspire a change and the bravery to act. And it feels like, because of that first moment that we've seen this episode, it feels like for everything they gained, they lost it in a way. So it's like, it's not just it's a daily struggle for them. It really seems so aggravating, and I could feel and I understand the feeling of, working so hard, and yet in the end it never really gets appreciated, and yet sometimes it just backfires in your face, and you feel like for what you wanted to gain from this, you never succeeded, and it feels really unfortunate. You just sympathize so much more, and I liked how Agent Callus kind of like was that shade of gray of the Empire. Is like, because he's had that episode with Zeb, he kind of does essentially get that feeling with, I would say, there's a sense of sympathy and a remembrance of Callus and Zeb from that episode, and he's like, alright, tell Zeb we're even, and I like that. That was a really sweet note, in my opinion. I thought it was really beautiful. And, this episode is, the title of this episode is The Antilles Extraction. And get Antilles and one of his friends, and they do escape, and it's like, okay, alright. But there's a sense is like, we don't know what's at stake now, because anything could happen, and anyone could die, and I liked how it does add that sense of vulnerability and cautious nature to them. So it's like, think about your actions, and we still get to see Ezra essentially, still being quite brash, still being quite abrasive, and I won't say rude, but he was still a bit stubborn to admit. And he's like, "No, we're here for you. We're trying to get you out, and trying to get in Wedge as well." And they're like, "No, you can't. We're just screwed. We're sorry." And he's like, "Come on." Well, I wasn't like, "Come on," but it's like Ezra's kind of like, "Oh, come on, really? We came here to get you out now," and he's like, "We're trying to," and it's like, I like that feeling that he's still, while he still listens to Kanan, he's still very just, he's still taking in that direction as a character. So overall this episode is still really solid. At first I'm like, is this going to be a filler episode? I'm just glad it wasn't. It does add a greater sense to what they really need to succeed in their mission of taking on the Empire, which I don't know. But regardless, Star Wars Rebels, so far so good. 4 episodes in, and I gotta say, you're riding strong. Till then. And I'll see you in the future for more videos as always. Till then, may the Force be with you. Always.